Today we got a bit of a heartbreaker. This is still gonna be my best Satsuma game, but yeah, it's a pretty heartbreaking ending. But before that, let's take a look at the early game. Of course, with a Satsuma, you're big and you're slow, so pushing in and getting involved in the battle can be a little tricky since it's very easy to burn this ship down. It's got a lot of HP, I know, but you don't really want to push all the way into cap zones, that kind of thing. So notice how I'm playing near my allies, but I'm playing in such a way where I'm able to retreat or I'm able to get behind island cover if I start getting focused. I think that's a really important thing with Battleship play, is that they can tank damage, yes, but not for infinite amounts of time, right? We need to have reprieves to make use of our extra healing. Of course, this ship also is really good at range, so it helps that we can play a little farther back in that sense. This GK going flat broadside, yeah, 23k. This ship hits extremely hard. If you didn't know, the Supership Satsuma, the next in line from Yamato, you're essentially getting the Satsuma guns, or the, sorry, I should say Shikishima guns, but you get a whole nother turret. And seriously, going from 6 guns to 8 guns feels so much better. I know I released a video talking about how Patrie is now my new favorite super battleship. It's amazing, but this game reminded me that Satsuma's pretty good too. There's certainly nothing wrong with this ship, and it gets a gimmick where we, assuming that we have a few accurate salvos, it's only really 3 accurate salvos we need, we get this accuracy booster, right? So 35% better accuracy on 1 salvo. Of course, we're not going to use that against a Kurfürst. Really, we're trying to use that against cruisers, things that we can get a lot of citadels on, where we can really make use of that pinpoint aim. Yes, we could have done more damage to this Kurfürst, but chunking GKs for 20k every salvo still is pretty good to me. I'm waiting for this Annapolis, I'm waiting for the Kronstadt, that kind of thing. That's really what I'm deciding to do. I also turned away. Notice how our Iowa is really going in hard. Yeah, our Shimakaze died. We only have a Marseille and kind of an Annapolis supporting us. The Annapolis seems to be a little more focused on the middle of the map, so we don't want to be pushing into aggressive, since of course they do have a submarine as well. Nice to have no carrier this one, but subs are something that you do have to be concerned about. Battleships are some of the best ships at dealing damage to submarines, thanks to those plane airstrikes, those anti-submarine warfare planes. But spotting and dealing with subs that way is really quite difficult. Kronstadt makes a mistake, turning flat broadside, so that's when we use our booster. I'm trying to save this booster, this accuracy buff, for these kinds of opportunities. I don't just want to use it on cooldown, and that's why. It's these super accurate pinpoint salvos that can really swing the course of a game. Notice our team is winning B and C, especially the C flank, very aggressively. So we don't have to do much here, and we're going to at least have a good shot at winning this game. As soon as the submarine's spotted, I'm trying to make use of my planes, since our friendly sub or our friendly destroyer or whoever's spotting an enemy submarine, they're probably not going to be able to get close enough to that sub to actually do damage to it, right? A destroyer, it's basically suicide to go try and catch a submarine on the enemy side of the map. You're not going to make that work in most destroyers. So it's really important that as a Battleship player that you're looking for those opportunities to make use of your teammates spotting those submarines. But yeah, we lost our sub now. We're definitely losing this flank pretty badly. But the Kurfürst is pushing in aggressively. Again, on every German battleship, just aim up into their superstructure if they're angled, and you're just going to get really good damage. That's how it goes against German battleships, 10k, and it won't take long to kill them. That's kind of the unfortunate part about German battleships. It's one of the reasons I'm not a huge fan of playing them all the time, is it doesn't really seem to matter what you do. Whatever angle you take, you're taking huge hits. So we're playing really passive though. I have a lot of HP and we're playing very passive, and that's really comes down to our team doing a good job on the other flank. I don't feel the need to make use of this HP quite yet. I think we're doing a good job going to be killing this Kurfürst off, and as soon as we kill him off, we're going to be able to turn back in and hopefully get some cross shots on the Annapolis, the Bourgogne, maybe even the Kronstadt again as they push towards B to try and help their teammates around the C cap and the B cap. So I'm really not too concerned here about how passive I'm playing. Even though it looks not amazing, the scores are close. We're up on caps. We just clawed back a kill here. We're even on ships. It's not a huge deal. Unfortunately, though, we do have to deal with a submarine in open water. But a little while later, we dodged a few torpedoes, and for some reason he gets spotted with all that battery charge left. So even though we take a bit of a hit onto our torpedo belt, didn't hurt too bad, our friendly Marseille actually manages to take him out. And we're up to nearly 200k at this point, guys, already. And, well, it has been around 10 minutes into this game so far. About to pick up. Bourgogne pushing extremely aggressively into the B cap. You'll notice our team just chased the enemy team into their spawn. That's never going to work out, right? I think I've talked about this a lot, where as soon as you win a flank or you have control of a flank, don't push into the enemy spawn. That's just a great way to lose that flank. Over-aggress, and you're going to get caught in crossfires, open water for torps, that kind of thing. So I tend to, if I win the C flank, let's say, like our team did, I would try and push across towards B. I would try and hold those caps then, right? I don't want to be taking an aggressive action into the enemy spawn. It really doesn't accomplish much, and often ends up like this, where you just throw to the enemy team, as I miss massively. Oh man, I forgot about that one. I really felt the pressure to dev strike out that Annapolis, since we're way down on ships at this point. The points are a little bit close still, but the enemy team is definitely winning this game right now. So I really felt the pressure to deal with that enemy cruiser. I rushed my shot, and, well, we saw the result, obviously. We're still in a decent spot here if we can manage to control A, and we get some decent shots in here, assuming we aim properly, as the enemy team is pushing into B. Of course, they're in a crossfire here a little bit against our Freddy and myself. We just don't quite have the spotting. But this Hindenburg, yep, nearly dev struck him too. The ship definitely hits extremely hard. I kind of wish I had saved my booster for that salvo, but a couple more and we're gonna have that booster back. It's kind of weird that it's only 3 salvos that you need to activate this booster. I think it used to be 4 in earlier testing, but 3 is quite nice, honestly. Unfortunately, we barely missed the Kronstadt's nose. Of course, that ship has a massive citadel and an overmatchable bow. We just need to hit the very tip of the bow. For whatever reason, the belt armor extends pretty far up the nose of the ship, so we gotta hit the very, very, very tip of his nose, and then we should be able to get a decent salvo in. I don't want to lose our Marseille at this point. That's really key here. I see that our Freddy's getting pushed and probably going to go down on the other side of the map. So I really, really want to make sure that we hopefully, hopefully survive while taking the A cap here, myself and the Marseille. And it looks like we should. Yes. Marseille finishes off the Kronstadt, and we're going to get A here. And with my back turrets, we do manage to also pick up the Hindenburg. Not quite a double strike since we didn't kill the Kronstadt, but a nice bit of a sequence there to bring our team back into it. Even on ships now at this point. So what do we got to do? We got to control A, and we need to go help our teammates on C. The enemy team is much more clumped up. They're a little closer together, able to support themselves, right? They're all on the C side if we cut this map in half, right? Whereas our team, yeah, we lose our Freddy to flooding. The Hindi got all those YOLO torps off, which, you know, it's tough to deal with that as a Freddy since the Hindenburg's going to bounce you in a lot of places. And yeah, he died. So what do we got to do to win this game? We need to hold. I was pushing very aggressive for B, and I was constantly thinking, do I need to push? Do I need to hold? Well, the key here is going to be holding. I really, really did a poor job here at the end. And this is why it's a heartbreaker, is because I make a few massive mistakes. Number one, look at the score. We're up by 300 points. There's no need to rush this. The game, we have 5 minutes left, and I am very much rushing this. I'm getting all of my DPM on target towards the Bourgogne, and I'm opening myself up for cheek citadels. And if I had just played this bow in, I think that I would have done much, much better into this late game. The Bourgogne does get lucky with some of those salvos, but it is a Satsuma cheek at closer range. So 44k is a little more than I would expect from a salvo out of a Bourgogne, but it's still very much in the realm of possibility. I should not have played so carelessly. This is a huge, huge problem, and it's going to be the reason we lose this game. The Izumo wants to even things up, though, goes flat broadside. We have our booster, and yeah, there's one back. But unfortunately, the enemy team is going to push very aggressively here, and we don't have the HP to stand up to it. And this is what my massive mistake was. Losing all that HP in such a silly way results in, well, our Marseille was probably going to go down to this push anyway, but me bow on to a Bourgogne and an Iowa with 80k HP, 60k HP instead of 35, I think I can definitely win this engagement. The Bourgogne is basically out already. A few secondary hits that we get lucky on maybe, and he'll be taken out as well. So we can still come back from this game though if we manage to Citadel the Iowa through the bow. This is possible, but not very likely since that old change to the Iowa and Montana Citadels where they lowered them. And yeah, that dispersion's not going to help us too much. So 363,000 damage is huge. It is a Super Ships game, so there's going to be more damage than, let's say, a normal tier 10 game, but 363 is a lot no matter what kind of ship that we're in. Unfortunately for us, though, we don't manage to get the blind shot off, and the Jutland, who could have just ran away, ends up getting caught and killed. So that's a defeat. I think that loss probably was on me for the most part there. I could have easily won that game. Even though it was looking bad, I think that I had an opportunity to pull us into a win, and I really screwed it up. But I did still have a good time. As much as I really wanted to win that, and it sucks to be responsible for not pulling through on that win, it was a really good game, and Satsuma really is a strong super battleship. Here's the build that I'm running. Again, it's the very standard battleship build, especially that you've seen on things like Yamato, where we don't want to use gun feeder. We can make use of things like repair party specialist or even upgraded preventative maintenance. We definitely need grease the gears because these are slow turrets. Slow. 55-second turret traverse for 180 degrees. Yeah, it's pretty rough. But with guns this powerful and reasonably accurate, pretty good. I'm also using steering gears mod. This is so that I can hide my cheek a little better while I'm moving, where I can swing out, shoot all my guns, and then angle again quickly. That's the hope, but as you saw, if you're stationary, the rudder isn't all that useful. So that's where I'm trying to stay a little bit more mobile in the earlier games, trying to stay a little more open water. Again, probably something I should have considered going into the late game there was my build. Something like propulsion mod or damage control system would definitely be better for those situations where I'm trying to tank bow in. But let me know what you think of this game in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed watching this very, very close game. I think it was fun. It was a fun game. I really wanted to win that one though. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.